This is glorious.
The boat?
No, this sandwich. Where's the fat? This man cuts corned beef like my mother's standing over him.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 marvelous Mrs. Maisel moments so far.
Great audience, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for me. My name is Mrs. Maisel. Thank you and good night.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most significant, memorable, and whimsical moments from the show's first 3 seasons. A spoiler alert is now in effect, just in case you're not fully caught up yet. Did we miss any other marvelous Mrs. Maisel moments? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Midge and Joel get a divorce. Midge's journey from an elegant, upper-class New York housewife to a fast-spitting, profane stand-up comic began with Joel announcing that he was leaving her for his secretary, Penny Pan.
Tomorrow is Yom Kippur. I have 30 people in a rabbi coming over for breakfast, and this is the moment you decide to tell me you're gonna ride off into the sunset with your half-wit secretary. Can I just say that you have the worst timing ever?
Although that happened in the pilot episode, it would take until the 2nd episode of the 3rd season for their divorce to ultimately become finalized. The Maisels' case puzzles the judge who, accustomed to bickering couples eager to be torn off each other, cannot fathom a seemingly loving husband and wife wanting to part ways, much to an impatient Susie's displeasure.
The couple before you, they were at each other's throats. That's the norm. It seems like the two of you are something different, and I want to make sure you're not making a mistake here.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Quiet!
It's a hilarious, fast-paced scene that manages to pack quite the punch when the divorce is settled, and the Maisels give each other one last look.
Oh, will you two leave, please?
Number 9. Benjamin confronts Midge about their breakup. The 3rd season kicks off with a significant milestone in Midge's career, opening for Shy Baldwin. However, this comes at the detriment of her personal relationships, particularly her engagement to Benjamin.
This time you have pushed me too far.
What did I do? I mean, besides...
I work at a hospital, Miriam. I perform surgery. I hold really sharp tools that I cut people open with, and if I cut them open incorrectly, they tend to die. And that's where you chose to send your mother to fix me up with another girl?
After Rose decides to officially take on matchmaking, she visits Benjamin at the hospital in hopes of setting him up with a girl.
Rose, I promise you I'm fine.
You know, you won't be this handsome forever.
Well, I have a painting in my attic that would prove otherwise.
See, clever. Judy's daughter's clever too. I know I'm right about this.
This gesture is misconstrued by the heartbroken doctor as Midge's attempt to absolve herself of the guilt she feels over their breakup. He marches down to the stage deli, and the two finally address the elephant in the room.
I don't understand what happened.
I explained it all in the letter.
I stopped reading the letter after the words, "I can't marry you."
Oh.
It kind of gave the end away.
This also leads to a heated scene between Midge and Rose, in which both women realize that autonomy over their own lives is all they've ever wanted.
And one of these days you are gonna have to acknowledge that this is the new reality. That I am, for the first time in my life, taking charge of my own destiny. Just like Joel is in charge of his life, and so is Benjamin.
Number 8. Sophie Lennon ruins her Broadway play. Following months of rehearsals, investor scouting, and theater changes, Sophie Lennon's play finally opens on Broadway.
And thanks for the good food. Tasted fine.
Everything looks ready. The theater is packed, the other actors are killing it, and the stage is set for the Broadway debut of the legendary stand-up comic. Things, however, take a dramatic turn when Sophie initially misses her cue to enter, and after finally making it on stage, bumps into a prop.
Do not peek. No. Go away.
She suddenly starts speaking in a hushed voice, then shouts her lines, before completely veering off the script and regressing to her stand-up character.
We have nothing but beer.
Beer? I didn't know you were serving breakfast. I can't watch.
An infuriated Susie runs after her and berates her for wasting the chance to show just how great a serious actress she was.
You asked me to get you a shot. I got you a shot and you chickened out. You choked.
How dare you?
Number 7. Susie befriends her abductors. Midge's spontaneous, no-holds-barred style of comedy may be the best thing about her stand-up routine, but its consequences reach far beyond the stage.
We're gonna take a walk.
Where?
None of your business, just walk.
Can I finish my slice?
Do you understand you're in a little bit of trouble here?
In the second season premiere, Susie is abducted by two goons who were hired by Sophie Lennon's manager Harry Drake after Midge exposes Sophie's act on stage. While Midge sorts out her family's issues in Paris, Susie is left to deal with the kidnappers on her own, and somehow manages to disarm them by claiming to be from the same New York neighborhood as they are.
Well, there's nowhere else to go from here but to the Rockaways. I should know, I grew up there.
You're from the Rockaways?
Yeah, Broad Channel Avenue.
Hey, I'm over on Seagull.
Oh, you're in the fancy section.
I don't believe it. Frank, did you hear a girl from the Rockaways?
You never meet one of those.
Susie wins her abductors over so much that they not only let her go without harming her, they become long-term friends of hers, later helping her sort out her Broadway theater issues.
Listen, I can't thank you guys enough.
You can, actually, and will, eventually.
Okay, message received. But either way, opening night, there are 2 tickets for you, front and center.
Number 6. Midge performs an impromptu routine in Paris. Back to Midge's family issues. Also in the second season premiere, she finds out from Abe that Rose had taken all of her things and moved to Paris.
Papa, are you kidding me?
What?
Mama moved to Paris.
What? Oh, that's ridiculous.
Did you hear what you just said?
What?
The two fly out to the City of Light and find Rose living happily in the old, sparse apartment she had when she was studying there. On one of her Parisian nights, Midge wanders into a club where she launches into a tirade about her mother and her failed marriage.
I decided this year to totally uproot my life and became a different person. I guess you all know what that's like, huh?
Cette année, elle a décidé de complètement changer sa vie et de devenir une autre personne. Vous savez ce que c'est, ça?
What's even more impressive is that she does this to a French-speaking audience, with the help of a woman in the club who understands English and translates.
And then out of the blue, a mother comes along and hits you over the head with a piece of pipe you found at a construction site and completely knocks you out.
Vous assomme complètement.
It is during the routine we find out Joel had given her back his wedding ring and was pretty much done with the marriage. Number 5. Joel experiences Midge's stand-up routine.
Wow, so nice considering you thought you were here to see Lenny Bruce and instead you have to listen to me for a while.
By the season 1 finale, Joel and Midge have gone from happy couple to separated to ex-lovers sleeping together after their son's birthday party. You know, the usual. Joel visits a record store afterwards to get his comedic juices flowing and overhears Midge's recorded set at the Gaslight.
What the hell is this? It's not for sale.
This wrecks him so much he quits his job, drinks himself into a stupor, and winds up at the Gaslight on the same night Midge is set to perform. Midge, in an effort to rebrand herself as Mrs. Maisel, delivers an outstanding set, despite being heckled by a man in the audience while Joel looks on.
Women aren't funny.
Your wife must have a sense of humor. She's seen you naked.
Joel transfers his aggression onto the heckler, punching him in the face and acknowledging just how good Midge is.
What's your problem?
Hey! 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 What are you doing? Get off!
Number 4. Midge performs her Catskills set in front of Abe.
Here we are in the Catskills, and I'm starving. Where can you get a decent meal around here?
While the Weissmans and the Maisels vacation at the Catskills, Susie poses as a Steiner's resort employee as she tries to book gigs for Midge. She eventually lands a midnight slot at the Concord Hotel, with a much larger audience than usual.
My mother first told me to keep my knees closed until there's a ring on my finger in the Catskills. Actually, she told me it was biologically impossible to have sex without a ring on your finger. Guess what, Mom? It's not.
Midge gets on stage a little tense, but quickly eases into the performance, firing on all fours. Her set, rife with explicit details about her private life, screeches to a halt when she spots a stunned Abe in the audience.
First time I ever let a boy go Christopher Columbus on my nether regions, it was in the Catskills. And this boy, he was my papa.
Midge panics and, instead of running off stage, starts blurting out secrets about her parents' intimate life. By the end, the Concord audience is in stitches, but Midge is too shaken to muster any form of excitement.
My father
Your father was out there.
Yes.
You said all that shit in front of your father. Wow, you have got balls.
Number 3. Midge gets kicked off Shy Baldwin's tour. Midge's stint as the opening act for Shy Baldwin marked a turning point in her burgeoning career as a stand-up comic.
He doesn't need a plane. He doesn't need a train. He just puts on his Judy Garland shoes, clicks his heels together 3 times, and says, "There's no place like Harlem. There's no place like Harlem."
It took her from playing for the tiny audience at the Gaslight to performing for U.S. troops, Vegas crowds, and in the season 3 finale, a packed Apollo Theater in Shy's hometown of Harlem. Midge gets the jitters right before going on stage, but Reggie pumps her up and suggests she talk about Shy in her set.
You know Shy. They know Shy. Get out there and talk about Shy.
This wins over the tough Apollo crowd, but ultimately leads to Shy canceling her contract and dropping her off the tour due to some implied jokes about his sexuality.
Me and Shy, we're friends.
You are not friends. You were on tour together, and now you're not.
The season ends with a downcast Midge and Susie, looking on as Shy's plane flies away.
We're gonna be okay.
Number 2. Midge refuses to take Joel back. Once the pilot of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel comes to a close, we're left wondering what will become of Midge, her new passion for comedy, and her marriage to Joel.
I just don't want this life, this whole Upper West Side, Classic 6, best seats in Temple.
Wife, 2 kids.
I just don't want it.
As her new career starts to subsequently take off, the question of will she get back with Joel gets a pretty definitive answer by the end of the 3rd episode. After giving his impromptu decision to up and leave Midge for Penny a rethink, Joel waltzes back to Midge and tells her he wants to come back home.
I'm thinking of giving it another go.
Much to his surprise, Midge turns him down for a very simple and justifiable reason.
No.
No. Why?
Because you left.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Midge and Lenny's potential romance. Midge and the newly single Lenny Bruce spend an intimate evening together in Miami.
What's the matter? I'm not that bad.
Just can't think of anything funny to say.
No, I never saw them at all.
Me either.
Till there was you.
It's kind of nice, isn't it?
Midge shines in her telethon appearance. Despite being bumped to the last time slot by Sophie Lennon, Midge kills it and meets Shy Baldwin.
That's right. This is an extremely unlikely stick-up. The only witnesses being some drunk cameramen, 3 sailors on leave, and 14 people half asleep in front of their TV.
She's good.
Joel and Midge get remarried. Midge convinces Joel to visit her in Vegas, and they accidentally remarry on a drunken night.
Did we?
No.
I think we...
No. Oh, boy.
Is that a diamond?
Glass. Mama knows.
Midge swings at the male comedians who humiliated her. Midge serves a hilarious dish of revenge in the only way she knows how.
All comics are comics because something in their lives went horribly wrong. Something went to shit. Either their hairline, Eugene, or their personal lives, me and Stan. I don't even need to know the details, but looking at Stan, you just want to apologize and tell him everything's going to be okay. Which it won't, because it's Stan.
The Yom Kippur makeup dinner. Midge's supper with both families goes awry.
You look really beautiful tonight.
I've got an armful of meat.
Yeah, that can't hurt.
We should probably figure out some logistics.
Logistics?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Midge goes on stage for the first time.
And this is it, huh? This is the dream. Standing up here on this filthy, sticky stage all alone. Couldn't have that. You didn't want me. Was that it, Joel?
This is the moment that started it all. After being dumped by her husband Joel, a drunk Midge walks out into the pouring rain and heads down to the gaslight in her nightgown.
So my life completely fell apart today. Did I mention that my husband left me?
She ends up on stage where Joel had just performed and bombed, and delivers a biting monologue about her cheating husband, Penny Pan, and her now crumbling life.
Do you know I've seen her twice with her shirt on inside out? Penny, twice. Once, fine, you were rushed in the morning. Twice, you can only be trusted to butter people's corn at the county fair.
It's brutally honest, and for her very first time on a stage, surprisingly hilarious. Her set ends after she drops her nightgown, revealing her prized jewels, and gets arrested for public nudity, but not before catching Susie's eye.
You think Bob Newhart's got a set of these at home? Rickles, maybe. Hey!
Go. It's the first of many sets, and the moment we all realize just how marvelous Midge Maisel really is. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.